The human story is, at its core, a narrative of connection. From the earliest communal gatherings around firelight to the bustling marketplaces of ancient cities, our survival, our progress, and indeed, our very sense of self have been intrinsically linked to our relationships with others. We are, by our very nature, social beings. Yet in this modern era, an age of unprecedented technological advancement and global interconnectedness, a silent epidemic has taken root, one that undermines the very fabric of our well-being, the epidemic of loneliness. It is a profound paradox. We carry supercomputers in our pockets, capable of instantly connecting us to billions across the globe. We navigate digital landscapes teeming with friends and followers. Information, ideas, and images traverse continents in milliseconds. And yet, for all this purported connection, a gnawing emptiness persists for countless individuals. This isn't merely a fleeting emotion, a temporary pang of solitude. This is a pervasive, chronic state of disconnection that casts a long shadow over mental and physical health, touching lives across every demographic, every age group, and every corner of society. It is a hidden crisis, often unacknowledged, frequently misunderstood, but its consequences are undeniably real and alarmingly severe. To understand the gravity of this issue, we must first dispel the notion that loneliness is simply an uncomfortable feeling. It is, in fact, a potent stressor, a physiological and psychological threat that can carve deep pathways of vulnerability within us. We'll delve into the scientific evidence that confirms this, explore the societal shifts that have deepened this crisis, and crucially, illuminate the pathways to reconnecting, to finding a friend for those in need, and rebuilding the essential human connections that define us. The research paints a sobering picture of loneliness as more than just a fleeting emotion. It is a pervasive issue with tangible health consequences. Consider the brain, that marvel of biological engineering, our center of thought, emotion, and memory. It thrives on stimulation, on novelty, on the rich tapestry of human interaction. Without this vital input, without the nuanced cues of conversation, the warmth of shared laughter, the challenge of differing perspectives, cognitive abilities can begin to wane. Studies have consistently indicated a direct correlation between persistent loneliness and an increased risk of cognitive decline and even dementia. One significant study, highlighted in the Washington Post in November 2024, revealed that prolonged loneliness could elevate the risk of developing dementia by as much as 31%. This is a staggering statistic, underscoring that our social connections are not merely a pleasant adjunct to a healthy life, they are fundamental to maintaining the very sharpness and agility of our minds. Without regular social engagement, the brain, like any muscle, can atrophy, leading to faster cognitive deterioration. Professor Julianne Holt-Lundstad, a prominent researcher in this field at Brigham Young University, has extensively documented the physiological impacts, arguing that the health risks of loneliness are comparable to those of smoking 15 cigarettes a day or obesity. The impact of loneliness extends far beyond cognitive function. The human body, an intricate symphony of systems, responds to stress with a cascade of physiological changes. Chronic loneliness triggers a sustained stress response, leading to inflammation, elevated blood pressure, and a compromised immune system. This sustained physiological toll translates into tangible health risks. Science Daily reported in June 2024 on studies linking short-term loneliness to a range of physical health problems, indicating a direct pathway from psychological state to bodily impact. More broadly, extensive research has shown a significant link between social isolation and an increased risk of cardiovascular disease. Studies have reported a 29% heightened risk of heart disease and a chilling 32% increased risk of stroke for those who experience profound social disconnection. These are not minor statistical fluctuations. These are stark warnings, underscoring the urgent need to address this pervasive health threat. Loneliness, it appears, is not just a state of mind. It is a state of disease, a silent killer that erodes our vitality from within, compounding risks for various chronic conditions. It's crucial to differentiate between loneliness and solitude. Solitude is a chosen state, often restorative and beneficial, allowing for introspection and personal growth. Loneliness, however, is an involuntary and distressing feeling of being alone or separated from others, a profound yearning for connection that is unmet. It is this unmet need that creates the deep physiological and psychological distress. We live in an era often lauded as the age of connection. Social media platforms boast billions of users, facilitating instantaneous communication across continents. Video calls bridge distances, allowing us to see and hear loved ones regardless of geographical divides. Online communities coalesce around every conceivable interest, offering spaces for belonging and shared passion. Yet, it is precisely within this seemingly boundless digital landscape that the seeds of paradox are sown. How can a world so interconnected simultaneously grapple with such profound isolation? Part of the answer lies in the nature of digital connection itself. While platforms offer breadth, they often lack depth. We might have hundreds, even thousands of friends online, but how many of these connections are truly meaningful, supportive, and reciprocal? The curated nature of social media often presents an idealized version of reality, fostering a sense of inadequacy and comparison. Users scroll through endless feeds of perfect lives, perfect vacations, and perfect relationships, often leading to feelings of envy, self-doubt, and ultimately, a heightened sense of their own isolation. The constant barrage of filtered happiness can paradoxically make one feel more alone in their genuine struggles. Furthermore, the digital realm can become a substitute for, rather than an enhancement of, real-world interactions. It's easier to send a quick text or like a post than to meet for coffee, offer a comforting hug, or engage in a challenging face-to-face conversation. This ease can lead to a gradual erosion of social skills and a reluctance to engage in the sometimes messy but ultimately more rewarding complexities of in-person relationships. The digital world offers a convenient, often superficial connection that can mask a deeper void. Dr. Sherry Turkle, a professor at MIT and author of Alone Together, has extensively explored how technology, while promising connection, can ironically lead to deeper isolation by enabling us to avoid the demands and vulnerability of real relationships. Beyond technology, broader societal shifts contribute to this growing sense of isolation. Urbanization has often led to a decrease in tight-knit community structures, with more people living in anonymous cities. The decline of traditional civic organizations, places of worship, and informal neighborhood gatherings has also played a role. Furthermore, increasing mobility, where people frequently move for work or lifestyle, can disrupt established social circles, leaving individuals in new environments without immediate support systems. Long working hours and demanding professional lives can also leave little time or energy for cultivating and maintaining strong social bonds. These factors, combined with the digital paradox, create a complex web of challenges that contribute to the hidden epidemic of loneliness. The COVID-19 pandemic, a seismic global event that reshaped our lives in unprecedented ways, served as a stark and undeniable amplifier of this hidden epidemic. The mandates of social distancing, the lockdowns, the fear of contagion, all conspired to isolate individuals on a scale never before witnessed in modern history. The human need for touch, for proximity, for shared experience was abruptly curtailed, leaving a gaping void. The consequences were swift and severe. Mental health services saw an alarming surge in demand, particularly among students and young adults who were deprived of the crucial social rites of passage, the informal gatherings, the shared anxieties and triumphs that define those formative years. School closures, university shifts to online learning, and the cancellation of extracurricular activities stripped away essential social structures. As reported by the Houston Chronicle in 2025, even 5 years post-pandemic, the effects linger, with students still feeling the mental health crisis that was jump-started by pandemic isolation. This underscores the profound and long-term consequences of such widespread and abrupt social disconnection during critical developmental periods. But the pandemic's impact was not confined to the young. Elderly populations, already at higher risk of social isolation, faced unprecedented challenges. Nursing home lockdowns meant prolonged separation from family and friends, leading to sharp declines in cognitive function and emotional well-being. Many elderly individuals, already facing mobility issues or living alone, found their limited social circles completely severed. The fear of contagion, while understandable, often translated into a complete withdrawal from social activities, leaving many feeling utterly alone and forgotten. The pandemic laid bare the fragility of social safety nets for our most vulnerable populations. The ClearviewTreatment.com blog on the impact of social isolation on mental health also extensively detailed the widespread psychological toll across all age groups. Even now, years after the initial shockwaves of the pandemic have subsided, the echoes of that period of prolonged isolation continue to reverberate. The mental health crisis it ignited has not miraculously vanished. The lingering effects are evident in increased rates of anxiety, depression, and a pervasive sense of disconnect that continues to challenge individuals and communities. This persistent aftermath underscores a critical truth. Addressing loneliness requires sustained, dedicated interventions, not just reactive measures during times of crisis. The wounds of isolation are not easily healed, and the path to genuine reconnection is often a long and arduous one. The pandemic served as a harsh lesson in the vital importance of human connection, underscoring its role not just in our happiness, but in our very survival and resilience. But amidst this sobering reality, there is a powerful antidote, a fundamental human truth that offers hope and a path forward: the transformative power of companionship. Meaningful social connections are not merely a nice-to-have, they are a fundamental human need, as essential to our well-being as food, water, and shelter. When we engage in genuine social interactions, our brains are stimulated in profound ways. Conversations ignite neural pathways. Laughter releases endorphins, and shared experiences forge bonds that provide comfort, meaning, and a sense of belonging. The very act of engaging with another human being, of truly seeing and being seen, hearing and being heard, nourishes our minds and spirits. Without these stimuli, cognitive abilities may deteriorate faster, as various neurological studies consistently show. The resurgence of community initiatives focused on fostering connection stands as a testament to this inherent human need. Simple, yet profoundly effective, these grassroots efforts are demonstrating the tangible power of collective action in combating loneliness. Consider, for instance, the growing popularity of walking groups. These are not merely exercises in physical fitness. They are vibrant hubs of social interaction, spaces where individuals can connect, converse, and build relationships in an informal, supportive environment. Common Ground, a community-led walking group in the UK, exemplifies this success. regularly attracting dozens, sometimes even 100 participants per event. These walks are not just about getting steps in, they are about fostering a sense of community, about creating opportunities for shared laughter, for genuine conversations, and for the formation of meaningful bonds. As reported by The Times in April 2025, walking groups have become the latest trend to seduce Gen Z and millennials, signaling a collective yearning for authentic, in-person interactions, a recognition that the digital world, for all its convenience, cannot fully replicate the richness of real-world connection. These groups offer a low-pressure entry point for social interaction, removing the intimidation often associated with more formal social gatherings. Beyond walking groups, a myriad of other community-led initiatives are emerging globally, each tailored to specific needs and interests, yet all sharing the common goal of fostering connection. Community gardens, for example, bring people together around a shared purpose: growing food. The collaborative effort, the sharing of knowledge, and the tangible rewards of the harvest create a natural environment for social bonding. Similarly, local book clubs, knitting circles, community choirs, and amateur sports leagues all serve as vital hubs for connection. They provide structure, a common interest, and recurring opportunities for social interaction that can gradually transform acquaintances into genuine friendships. The success of these initiatives lies in their organic nature and their focus on shared activities. They provide a context for interaction that feels natural and unforced. They allow relationships to develop gradually based on mutual interests and shared experiences, rather than forcing artificial connections. The power of presence, of simply being with others in a shared physical space, engaging in a common activity, is a potent antidote to the isolating effects of modern life. These initiatives demonstrate that rebuilding human connection doesn't always require grand gestures or complex programs. Sometimes it's about creating accessible, welcoming spaces where people can simply be together. They remind us that the human spirit inherently seeks connection, and given the right environment, it will flourish. The recognition of this pervasive issue and the undeniable power of human connection has spurred organizations like ClickPlay to dedicate themselves to actively addressing social isolation. Their commitment is rooted in a deep understanding of the human need for companionship and a belief in the transformative potential of structured support. ClickPlay's approach is multifaceted, designed to tackle isolation from various angles, creating a comprehensive network of support for those in need. One cornerstone of their commitment lies in their volunteer companionship programs. These programs are a direct response to the fundamental human need for regular, meaningful social interaction. The concept is elegantly simple, yet profoundly impactful, connecting trained volunteers with individuals who are experiencing isolation. These volunteers are not professional therapists or counselors. They are compassionate individuals who offer their time, their presence, and their genuine interest to those who may otherwise be deprived of consistent human connection. The process typically begins with a careful matching system, ensuring that volunteers and recipients are paired based on shared interests, personalities, and availability. This thoughtful approach helps to foster a more natural and comfortable connection from the outset. The interactions can take many forms: a weekly visit for a chat over tea, a shared walk in a local park, a trip to a museum, a board game, or simply a phone call to check in and share a few moments of conversation. The focus is on providing consistent, reliable social engagement, on breaking the cycle of isolation with the warmth of human presence. The benefits of these programs extend far beyond merely filling time. For the recipients, these regular interactions demonstrably improve mental well-being, reduce feelings of loneliness, and provide a powerful sense of being valued and remembered. The consistency of the connection provides a stable anchor in what might otherwise be a solitary existence. It can rekindle a sense of purpose, spark memories, and encourage engagement with the wider world. For many, these volunteers become a vital link to the outside world, a source of comfort, and a reminder that they are not alone. Anecdotal evidence from similar programs across the globe speaks volumes. Individuals who were once withdrawn and despondent often show remarkable improvements in mood, cognitive function, and overall vitality after engaging with a dedicated companion. The human touch, the sound of a caring voice, and the simple act of being genuinely listened to can have a profound therapeutic effect. But the benefits are not unilateral. Volunteers also report immense satisfaction and a profound sense of purpose. The act of giving back, of making a tangible difference in someone's life, enriches their own well-being. It fosters empathy, builds social skills, and provides a unique perspective on the challenges faced by others. Beyond individual companionship, ClickPlay recognizes the power of shared experience and mutual support. This understanding forms the basis of their support networks. These initiatives facilitate the creation of peer support groups, bringing together individuals who are facing similar challenges related to loneliness and isolation. The format can vary from structured weekly meetings to informal gatherings, but the core principle remains the same: creating a safe, empathetic space where individuals can share their experiences, voice their struggles, and offer mutual encouragement without fear of judgment. In these groups, individuals realize that their feelings are not unique, that others share similar anxieties and aspirations. This shared understanding fosters a powerful sense of belonging and validation, diminishing the isolating burden of individual struggle. Members can offer practical advice, emotional support, and a collective sense of resilience. The strength of these networks lies in the peer-to-peer connection, the understanding that comes from having walked a similar path. It empowers individuals to become active participants in their own journey toward connection, drawing strength from the collective wisdom and support of their peers. ClickPlay's commitment extends beyond simply setting up programs. It's about nurturing a whole culture of connection. We're about using the incredible power of human interaction to create a supportive space where everyone genuinely feels seen, heard, and valued. We get that there's a deep human need to belong, and we're actively working to help fulfill it. We understand that true well-being isn't just about not being sick, but about having meaningful relationships. The challenge of loneliness in our world, which feels more connected than ever, yet is paradoxically isolating, is huge. It's a complicated issue with deep roots and far-reaching consequences. But the answers, even though they demand dedication and effort, ultimately come back to our basic human ability for empathy, compassion, and connection. By truly seeing this hidden epidemic of loneliness, by grasping its profound impact on our health and happiness, and by actively creating chances for real human interaction, we can start to rebuild the bonds that truly define us. Through our dedicated volunteer companionship programs, ClickPlay directly tackles the emptiness of isolation. We carefully match caring volunteers with people who need connection, making sure there are consistent, meaningful social interactions. On top of that, our support networks help form vital peer groups. These offer safe places to share experiences, give each other encouragement, and realize profoundly that none of us are truly alone in our struggles. Whether it's through these structured programs, the creation of supportive peer networks, or just by extending a hand of friendship to someone who needs it, every single act of connection helps build a more vibrant, healthier, and compassionate society. The journey toward a more connected world isn't one we take alone. It's a shared effort, built one meaningful interaction at a time, one shared conversation, one genuine moment of companionship, until the hidden epidemic of loneliness is finally brought into the light and replaced by the lasting warmth of human connection. It reminds us that deep down, we're not meant to be alone, and by simply reaching out, we can truly become a friend for those in need.